Hi, this is Cheryl with Hirsch Parent Coaching. Have you ever asked your child to go do their homework or work on a project only to find that nothing really got done? Or even to go tell your child to go clean the room, and then you go in to check, later in the evening or in the day, and it still looks like it did before. Or have you ever keep losing your keys, misplacing things? Well, these are all examples of what executive functioning skills are. And in my recent work with some clients, I've noticed that this has been a common theme of where children, therefore parents, are having some struggles. So executive functioning skills, if you haven't heard of them, help us with planning, working memory, focused attention. I have a definition here because I want to be sure I got it all encompassed here. And this is from the Center on the Developing Child at Harvard. Harvard defines it this way: executive function and self-regulation skills are the mental processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember instructions, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. I love this that they use as an example to help understand it. They talk about air traffic control system. At a busy airport, how the air traffic controller has to safely monitor and manage their arrivals and departures, safely, thank God, on multiple runways. So they say the brain needs a skill set to filter distractions, prioritize tasks, set and achieve goals, and control impulses. So just like the air traffic controllers directing air traffic, that is what our brain is doing. Now, many adults, I'm sure some of you can relate to some of these, and or know an adult in your life that still does not have these down. However, I do want to share that these are skills that can be taught and are taught from infancy. So there is hope, and I just think oftentimes as adults working with kids, that we get really frustrated and think there's something wrong with them, the others that aren't able to accomplish this, but really it's a set of skills that need to be taught. So today I just wanted to give an example of if your child, adult child even, has a project that needs to get done for homework. Oftentimes children need help understanding how to accomplish that, even if it's like finishing a book. So if there's a major project, it's good to sit down with them and think about scheduling it, calendaring it all out. Now, you don't want to just put the due date in, because that's when it should all be finished. So again, to break it down, and it's really often helpful to work backwards. Okay, we have to have it done by this date. So what do we need to finish? What needs to be accomplished throughout the preceding days, weeks, depending on what the project or homework assignment may be. It can be even learning lines for a play. It just relates to so many different things in our lives. So one, again, is to schedule it out, block it out, and then to think about breaking it down further. So what needs to be done first? What needs to be accomplished? And it's not enough just to spell it out and then say, go do it. You need to put structures in place and ask your child, what do they need? How can I support you? What does that look like? You want them to be as independent as possible, so ask them what they need. And again, we use the term in education, scaffolding, where just like when you're painting, it holds up the painter on buildings. We want to hold up the child. We want to prop them up and support them in ways where we're not doing it for them. We want to draw it out from them that they are doing it themselves, so they do master these skills. So help them figure out what are the first steps, what needs to be done. Be very, very detailed. Do not assume. And then it's really important to follow up. What does that look like when it's done? How will I know when it's done? What happens? What do you need to do with this piece of it when it's completed? Oftentimes kids will do the work and then they lose focus and forget to turn in assignments, find them stuffed in their backpacks. So again, don't assume and follow up. It really is important that each step of the way, don't wait too long, each step of the way that you are doing check-ins to be sure that whatever was decided needs to be completed is completed, and completed well. eventually a child and adult can learn how to manage these larger projects. And again, they just need to learn how to break it down, how to be held accountable. And in the meantime, we as their parent, educator, friend, whatever role we may serve, really need to be by their side, supporting and checking in to be sure that things are done and not waiting to the last minute. I also really strongly believe in noticing what is being done well. I see you got that taken care of. It's all on time. It's well done. Bravo. Try not to make it about pleasing you, but instead helping them see what they've accomplished and making them feel good about what they've done. So keep that in mind. There was just an episode even on This Is Us that I recently watched where, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the show, but I love it. Randall is a very strong student and has all these things in place to help study, and he was teaching his brother on how to do that. And there's a scene later on where as an adult, he is still using the skills that his brother taught him when he was in elementary school, and that was on how to study. So I just have to give this one story. When I was a middle school principal, I was in charge of student council. And one of my favorite things was helping the kids learn how to plan events. And I think this was a wonderful, wonderful way for them to learn executive functioning skills, because they had to see the task from the beginning to the end, understanding what goes on behind the scenes to make something happen and all the steps in between. And I know if anybody complained about an event like Field Day after they worked so hard on it, they had a newfound sense of accomplishment and ownership, and just totally understood how much work went on behind the scenes to make things happen. So they would get all upset if somebody had complained about something they had done. So I just want to encourage you in telling you that story, that give your kids things to plan, figure out, have to follow through on. And that is a wonderful way to teach them some of these executive functioning skills. So probably more in the future on this topic. It's a big one. And again, we know how important it is as adults to finally master these skills if we want to function well in life. So hope this was helpful. Again, this is Cheryl with Hirsch Parent Coaching.